Hello students, today we are going to start with residential status and scope of total income. Residential status and scope of total income are interrelated. So this is basically chapter 2 of the study material residence and scope of total income. The notes which you are seeing on the screen plus the format book is available in the Telegram group. The link for the Telegram group is available in the description below. So from there you can download it in advance. Okay. So residential status. Earlier in the basic concept chapter, we have studied the slab rates for individual. There was a particular sentence that if an assessee is a resident and his age is up to 59 years, then his slab rate was the basic exemption limit available to the normal citizen was 2,50,000. But if that particular assessee is aged between 60 to 79 years, then his basic exemption limit was 3 lakhs. But if the SSC who is resident and his age is 80 plus, then his basic exemption limit was 5 lakh. I hope this is quite clear. 80 plus means includes 80 years and above. Okay. So there we have studied this word resident. So here in this chapter we will be able to identify whether an SSC is a resident or not. Okay. So let's ask primary question. When do we need to determine residential status? We need to determine the residential status of an assessee for every previous year or assessment year. Okay. So if the Income Tax Act says that if a residential status of an assessee is determined, it is not mandatory that whether he is resident or not, this status will not be carried for the next previous year. So for each year freshly we need to identify that whether the assessee is resident or not. Okay. Once an assessee is resident, it does not mean he'll be resident forever. We have to see whether he is resident or not. Okay. Why do we need to determine residential status? You know already in basic concept we have studied with the help of residential status. That means if the assessee is resident individual, then there are 3 types of slab rate. So residential status helps to determine slab rates for individual, and if the assessee is resident in India, then he will pay taxes on his world income, that is Indian income plus foreign income. And if the assessee is non-resident in India, then he will pay taxes on Indian income only. So this we'll study in detail in scope of total income in the further parts of the video. Okay. So I hope it is quite clear. When do we need to determine residential status? We need to determine the residential status of an assessee for every previous year and assessment year. Okay. And why do we need to determine? You already know. Okay. How is the residential status determined in India? Residential status is determined on the basis of number of days stayed in India and not as per citizenship. Okay. So let me make you all understand about this. For example, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, who is a citizen of India. Mr. Amitabh Bachchan is a citizen of India. Mr. Amitabh Bachchan can be resident in India or he can be non-resident in India. How will it be determined? Residential status will be determined on the basis of number of days stayed in India. It does not simply means that if Mr. Amitabh Bachchan is citizen of India, he will be by default resident in India. Okay. Let's take other example of Mr. Bill Gates. Mr. Bill Gates, not a citizen of India. Okay, he is not a citizen of India. He can be a resident in India or he can be non-resident in India. How can his residential status will be determined? His residential status will be determined as per the number of days stayed in India. Okay, he has to live a particular number of days in India, then only Mr. Bill Gates or Mr. Amitabh Bachchan will retain the status of resident. Okay, so how to determine that? We'll study here in this section, section 6 subsection 1. Okay, there are 2 sections, section 6 subsection 1 and section 6 subsection 2. Okay, section 6 subsection 1 is basic condition which helps to determine whether an assessee is resident or non-resident. Okay, section 6 subsection 6 is something different which helps for scope of total income. Okay, so firstly we'll identify section 6 subsection 1 basic condition. Okay, section 6 subsection 1 basic condition states that if a person satisfies either means either 1 or either 2, okay, out of this any one should be satisfied, then he will be considered as a resident. What he will be considered as a resident? If for example Mr. Amitabh Bachchan satisfied either of the basic condition, okay, either of the basic condition, then he will be considered as resident. What are the condition? Condition 1, first basic condition is stay in India in previous year for 182 days or more. How many days? 182 days or more. That means if Mr. Amitabh Bachchan stays in India for exactly 182 days, then he will be considered as resident or above. That means 183, 184, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan stays in India for 181 days, then he will not be considered as resident. Then we need to check second basic condition. Okay, what is the second basic condition? Stay in India in previous year for 60 days or more and stay in India for 365 days or more during the 4 immediate preceding previous year of the relevant previous year. So this is something complicated. This part is something complicated. We'll understand it with an example. Don't worry. Let's understand the condition. Let's understand the section first. Then with the help of an illustration, I'll make this easy. Okay. If a person satisfy either of a basic condition, he will be considered as what? Resident. We need to memorize this section, and in exam we need to quote the section number as well. Okay, there is a format how to solve an exam. I'll show you once I explain section 6 subsection 1. Okay, so let us understand it again. If a person satisfy, person means here is specifically individual. I have written here, see, individual. If a person satisfy either of the basic condition, he will be considered as what? Resident. How? Either fulfilling this basic condition, stay in India in previous year for 182 days or more, or stay in India in previous year for 60 days or more, and stay in India for 365 days or more during the 4 immediate preceding previous year of the relevant previous year. So this has a meaning. Okay, this has some importance. I'll explain you. Don't worry. Many of the time students do mistake here. Okay, they know the section, they know the content of the section, but they do mistake over here. So don't worry, you won't make any mistake. I am there. I'll make your life easy. So basically, second condition has two parts, A and B. I have not written A and B in exam. You also do not write A and B. Write as it is, because it is has to be fulfilled cumulatively. Okay. So if a person satisfy either of the basic condition, he will be considered as resident. Stay in India in previous year for 182 days or more, or stay in India in previous year for 60 days or more, and stay in India for 365 days or more during the 4 immediate preceding previous year of the relevant previous year. Okay. So now let's move on to the format book. Okay. So this is the format book. Okay. Here we have format for determination of the residential status of an individual. Okay. Firstly, if the question says, let's take an example. Here, for example, let us take a name of a SSC, Mr. Bill Gates. We'll take someone Indian first. Okay, Mr. Amit. Okay, name of the SSC is Mr. Amit. His age is 55 years. Okay, assessment year is 2020-21. Okay, any exception? This part. Okay, this part, after I'll explain you, then only you will come to know what is that. So now for time being we'll ignore it. Okay, for 5 minutes we'll ignore it. So our question is, Mr. Amit, age 55 years, for the assessment year 2020, that is the relevant previous year will be 2019-20, had stayed in India for 185 days, whether Mr. Amit is resident in India or not. So see, this is the format. Okay, so this is the complete format that you will present in exam if the examiner asks only the residential status, that is whether the assessee is resident or not. Okay, so here Mr. Amit, age 55 years, for the assessment year 2021, that is the previous year 2019-20, he has stayed in India for 185 days. That means, see here the section is already quoted. Here the blank space is given to write how many days he has stayed in India. So he has stayed in India for 185 days. Okay, how many days? 185 days. So if Mr. Amit satisfy this first basic condition, we don't need to again check the second condition. Okay, any one of the two condition is satisfied, that is sufficient enough to declare Mr. Amit as resident. Since he has already satisfied one first condition, then why need to check the why do we need to check the second condition again? Why to waste time? So we'll not waste time here. I'll write here, do not waste time here. Okay, and here therefore the status of the person, that is Mr. Amit, is resident. What is the status? Is resident as the individual satisfy first condition. See, I have written the conclusion also. This is the conclusion. Therefore the status of the person, that means Mr. Amit, is resident as the individual satisfy first condition. Okay, that's sufficiently enough. Okay, now let's change our example. I'll not erase ignore. Ignore will be there for at least 5 minutes unless I explain you the exceptions. Okay, wait. Assessment year and previous year will be same only. I'll change the color also of the pen so that you identify what I am writing new. I'll change it to green. I feel like to write in green. Okay, Mr. Ram. Okay, Mr. Ram, aged 65 years for the assessment year 2020-21, that is previous year 2019-20. Okay, has stayed in India for 70 days. Okay, has stayed in India for how many days? Only 70 days. So we'll write here he has stayed in India for 70 days. Since he has not satisfied the first condition, that is in India for previous year for 182 days or more, that means the first condition is not satisfied. So we'll move on to our second condition. Stayed in India in previous year for 60 days or more. Since he has stayed for 60 days or more, that is he has stayed for 70 days, here he has not satisfied the first condition. Okay, in exam you don't need to cut anything, you keep as it is, just fill the information. You need to make this format and fill the information in it. Since he has not satisfied the criteria of 182 days, that means he has not satisfied the first condition. And in the second condition, the first part is stayed in India in previous year, that is 1920, for 60 days or more. Whether he has stayed for more than 60 days, yes, he has stayed for more than 60 days, that is 70 days. Since our question has not given any information for this stayed in India for 365 days or more during the 4 immediate preceding previous year of the relevant previous year, we'll write it here nil. Okay, that means we'll assume that he has not stayed in India in the 4 previous year immediately preceding to the relevant previous year. So that means even second condition is not satisfied. Okay, even second condition is not satisfied. That means we'll write here he is non-resident. Okay, therefore the status of Mr. Ram is non-resident as the individual does not satisfy. Will not write satisfied, does not satisfy both the conditions. Okay, I hope this is quite clear to you all. Now let's understand one more illustration. Okay, Mr. Bill Gates. Now we'll take Mr. Bill Gates, age 66, for the assessment year 2020-21, that is previous year 2019-20. He has stayed in India for, I'll write it here. Okay, wait, you will get a better idea because I am starting with Mr. Bill Gates. Previous year 2019-20, he has stayed in India for 90 days. Okay, for before this previous year 2019-20, that is the financial year before 2019-20, he has stayed in India for 90 days in each year. That means before this previous year 2019-20, okay, he has stayed in India for 90 days in each year, or else we'll change it to 100 days. Okay, 100 days in each year. Okay, so let's move on to our format. Here we'll write he has stayed in India for 90 days in the previous year. So that means our first basic condition is not satisfied. So now we'll move on to our second basic condition. What a second basic condition says that stays in India in previous year for 60 days or more. Whether he has stayed in India for 60 days or more, yes. So our second basic condition's first part is satisfied. Okay, so I'll put a tick over there. And now we'll check here that stayed in India for 365 days or more during the 4 immediate preceding previous year of the relevant previous year. So we'll come here in the format. So this is our relevant previous year. This is our relevant previous year. And what does our condition says? Our condition says that stayed in India for 365 days or more during the 4 immediate preceding previous year. 4 immediate preceding previous year of the relevant previous year. Preceding means before. Before this, that is during the period of 2018-19, 2017-18, 2016-17, 2015-16, the SSC, that is Mr. Bill Gates, should have stayed in India for 365 days or more. I hope this is quite clear. So this is the relevant previous year, and this is the 4 immediate preceding, that is before preceding previous year, 4 immediate preceding previous year of the relevant previous year. I hope this is quite clear to you all. So whether in these years Mr. Bill Gates has stayed for 365 days or more, so we'll calculate. In 18-19, 100 days, 17-18, again 100, 100, 100. So here our question says that stayed in India for 100 days in each year preceding to the relevant previous year. So here it comes to 400 days, which is more than 365 days. So we'll move into our format, and here we'll write 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100, which comes to 400 days. So now our second condition is satisfied completely. So what section 6 subsection 1 says that if a person satisfies either of the basic condition, he will be considered as resident. So either condition 1 or condition 2 should be satisfied. So in this case Mr. Bill Gates is satisfying condition number 2. Okay, so here in our final conclusion we'll write, therefore the status of Mr. Bill Gates is a resident, as Mr. Bill Gates satisfied second condition. He is satisfying second condition, right? I hope the format is quite useful to you all in exam. So only this much if you write, you will get immediate full marks. Okay, full marks or 4 or 4.5 marks if the question is of 5 marks. Okay, because I have seen ICI does not prefer to give out of marks. Okay, like 5 out of 5 marks or like that. Okay, so I hope this format is a way where you can easily like start with the sum and complete the sum in a speedy manner. You just need to write all this in a format. Here you have already written the section, okay, the content of the section number you have quoted, and you are giving the answer in a very compact manner. This will help the examiner to read less and give you full marks also. Okay, I hope this is quite clear. So now let's move on to this example only. Earlier you remember, if you remember that here I have taken 90 days. Okay, so let's see if the same question, now we'll solve it with 90 days. Let me erase it here. Okay, so this all will remain same. Here what is given, Mr. Bill Gates in the previous year 2019-20, he stayed in India for 90 days, that is the relevant previous year, and stay in India for 90 days in each year preceding the relevant previous year. Okay, so here we'll write 90, 90, 90, 90, which comes to 360 days. Okay, which comes to how much? 360 days. So here in the format we'll go and we'll put 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90, which comes to 360 days, which is less than 365 days. Okay, since our second condition is not fulfilled cumulatively, that means that Mr. Bill Gates has not satisfied both the condition, either condition 1 or condition 2. Okay, in this condition, condition number 2, part A and part B are not cumulatively satisfied, only part A of second condition is satisfied. Therefore Mr. Bill Gates will be considered as non-resident in India. Okay, he will be non-resident. Okay, therefore the status of Mr. Bill Gates is non-resident, as the individual, that is Mr. Bill Gates, has not satisfied either of the conditions. I hope this is quite clear. You can write the conclusion. Okay, when you purchase the scanner, that time you type 2-3 sums. Okay, you just take the printout of this format book and try the sums here only. Okay, so I hope you have understood this section 6 subsection 1 this much content. I hope this is clear. Now there is an exception to section 6 subsection 1, that is the basic condition. Let's understand that. If the following is the case, which is the cases, these are the cases. Okay, these are the cases. If the following are the cases, then only first basic condition will be applicable, that is stayed in India for 182 days. That means if these are the conditions, okay, then we will only check this condition. Okay, this condition will not be applicable, will not see this condition. Okay, so what are the cases? If Indian citizen, I am stressing on citizen here. Okay, if Indian citizens leave India in previous year for the purpose of employment outside India, then his residential status will be determined as per this condition only. That is, if that Indian citizen has stayed in India for 182 days or more, then only he will be considered as a resident. Otherwise, this second condition will not be applicable to him. Okay, so for example, Mr. Suresh, okay, Mr. Suresh is Indian citizen. I am just writing question here, then we'll move on to our format book. How format is so important and easy to use. We'll see that. Mr. Suresh, Indian citizen, leaves India for employment. Okay, leaves India for what? Employment. That means he has left India for employment. That means he has stayed for less than 365 days in India. So let's see how many days he has stayed in India. He has stayed in India for 90 days. Okay, before that, before leaving India, Mr. Suresh has never visited outside India. Okay, so this is our question. Okay, so let's go into our format book. Here we'll write Mr. Suresh. I have not given age over there, we'll write age over here. Mr. Suresh. Let's assume age is say 30 years. Okay, assessment year 2021 only, previous year 2019-20. So what does our format says? Are there any exception for the basic condition? If yes, so we'll write yes. We'll write yes over here, and then we'll write the exception. What is the exception? The question has itself given. The exception is leaves India for employment. Indian citizen leaves India for the purpose of employment. We'll write in our format book, write the exception. So we'll write the exception. Then here what I have written, and only check first condition. I have here also specified only check first condition for determining residential status of the person. So he has stayed for 90 days. So that means second condition is of no importance. So we'll not look on second condition. Okay, only 90 days. Is Mr. Suresh has stayed in India for more than 182 days or more? No, he has not stayed in India for more than 182 days or more. He has stayed for less than 182 days. That is, he has stayed for 90 days. So in short, Mr. Suresh will be non-resident. Okay, will be non-resident as he does not satisfy first condition. Okay, here you just need to mention exception. That's it. If you mention exception here, you don't need to mention here that if there is an exception, only first basic condition has to be satisfied. Any which ways you will mention it here. Again, don't need to repeat here. The examiner is smart enough to identify that you have written it here, you have already mentioned it here, and you don't need to mention here. Okay, I hope this is quite clear. I have already written here, write the exception, and also check the first condition for determining the residential status. So when you will write the exception, you will write this only, you will write entire part. If the following is the case, then only first basic condition will be applicable, and you will write entire this. Okay, you will write entire this exception, so you don't need to mention it again in the conclusion. There you have to just simply write, therefore the status of Mr. Suresh is non-resident as Mr. Suresh does not satisfy first basic condition. I hope this is quite clear. Okay. We have studied only this exception. Let's study the second exception. If Indian citizen leaves India as a crew member of Indian ship, Indian citizen leaves India as a crew member of Indian ship. If an Indian citizen leaves as a crew member of an Indian ship, then also only this condition will be satisfied. Hope now I don't need to explain again. For example, take Suresh as a crew member of an Indian ship. Okay, if he was a crew member of an Indian ship, then he has only stayed for 90 days in India. That means second basic condition is not applicable. So if you just again, okay, I'll again give Suresh example only. Mr. Suresh, okay, aged 30, assessment year 2020-21, previous year 2019-20. Any exception? Yes, second exception is there where Mr. Suresh leaves India as a crew member of Indian ship, where in the previous year 1920 Suresh stays for 90 days only in India, and before the previous year 1920 he has never visited outside India. That's what I have said here, right? So since our second condition is not applicable, we just don't need to calculate this part. Okay, for immediate preceding previous year. If he was not a crew member of Indian ship, he would just have visited for normal like vacation for 90 days outside India, or like for example, if he would have stayed in India for only 90 days and for the rest part of the year he has visited for vacation in some other country, then the residential status would have been something different. For example, take that only. Here Mr. Suresh, now we are considering Mr. Suresh with no exceptions, okay, with no exception, okay, but he has stayed in India only for 90 days. Before previous year 1920 he has never visited outside India. Okay, that means that here we'll write stayed in India in previous year for 60 days or more. Yes, he has stayed in India for 60 days or more. That means second conditions part A is satisfied. Second conditions part 2 we need to say stayed in India for 365 days or more during the 4 immediate preceding year. If Mr. Suresh has never visited outside India before 2019-20, that means immediate preceding 4 previous year will be equal to 365 days each year. No, 365 days into 4, which is more than 365 days. Okay, which is more than 365 days. I hope this is quite clear. We'll calculate, okay, that also. 365 into 4 is equal to 1460 days. 1460 days, which is more than 365 days. Therefore, Mr. Suresh will be resident in India. I hope this is quite clear. This was an example where Mr. Suresh, aged 30 years, without any exceptions, he stayed in India for 90 days and visited outside India only in 1920. Before 1920, he has never visited outside India. So, only second condition will be applicable, and conclusion will be therefore the status of Mr. Suresh is resident as individual satisfied second basic condition. I hope this is quite clear to you all. These are the what we say permutation combination that I am showing you all possibility in the residential status questions. Okay, and whenever you will be solving scanner, you will see okay, this all possibilities what I have taught you all right now will be present there also. Okay, let's revise. Exception to section 6 subsection 1 basic condition. If the following is the case, then only first basic condition will be applicable, that is stayed in India for 182 days or more. Indian citizen leaves India in previous year for the purpose of employment outside India, or Indian citizen leaves India as a crew member of Indian ship. I have forgotten to write here, or I'll write it here, or Indian citizen leaves India as a crew member of Indian ship. So this two we have already seen. Or Indian citizen or a person of Indian origins comes to India in previous year for the purpose of visit. So this is something very odd. In exam, do not expect any questions on this. If examiner is in a bad mood, then he may set question on this. But mostly in the real life scenario, now this is very much rare. Okay, so what does our third exception says? Indian citizen or a person of Indian origin, a person of Indian origin, this is something new. Okay, comes to India in previous year for the purpose of visit. If Indian citizen or a person of Indian origin comes to India in previous year for the purpose of visit, so here it is specifically said that Indian citizen. That means that for the previous year he might have not been resident in India. Okay, he might be staying somewhere out of India. For example, I'll give you here. For example, take your sister. Okay, your sister got married to a person in USA, and now she is citizen of USA and non-resident in India. If she visits in India, okay, or a person of Indian origin comes to India in previous year for the purpose of visit, then such person's residential status will be determined as per this only. Okay, will not see the second basic condition. Okay, I hope this is quite clear to you all. Now let's understand this part. Person of Indian origin. What does a person of Indian origin simply mean? A person of Indian origins means who himself, that means the assessee himself, or parents or grandparents are born in undivided India. What does undivided India means now? Undivided India means India plus Pakistan plus Bangladesh. In short, India before partition. Okay, I hope this is quite clear to you. Let's revise from section 6 subsection 1 basic condition entire section. Okay, this is also a part of this section only, and note is also part of this section only. I hope this is quite clear. Let's revise. Okay, section 6 subsection 1 basic condition is for individual. We are talking right now. If a person satisfy either of a basic condition, he will be considered as resident. First condition, stayed in India in previous year for 182 days or more. Second condition, part A and part B are there. Will not write part A and part B in exam, will simply write as it is. Stayed in India in previous year for 60 days or more and stayed in India for 365 days or more during the 4 immediate preceding previous year of the relevant previous year. I hope you have understood the meaning of 4 immediate preceding previous year of the relevant previous year. Okay, if not, again we'll see it. Okay, don't worry. Okay, one more example we will solve, and that's it for section 6 subsection 1. Okay, exception to section 6 subsection 1 basic condition. If the following is the case, then only first basic condition will be applicable, that is stayed in India for 182 days. This condition will be utilized to check the number of days stayed in India. Okay, Indian citizen leaves India in previous year for the purpose of employment outside India. Where purpose of employment outside India, Indian citizen leaves India as a crew member of Indian ship. Okay, or Indian citizen or a person of Indian origins comes to India in previous year for the purpose of visit. Person of Indian origin means who himself or parents or grandparents are born in undivided India. Undivided India means India plus Pakistan plus Bangladesh. I hope section 6 subsection 1 is clear. Now let's move into format book and we'll solve. We'll take an example now. Okay, understand the example. We'll take sister example again, or we'll take your example, you as a student. Okay, I'll take Mr. Ram. Mr. Ram is a student in India. Okay, every year Mr. Ram visits his sister in Singapore for how many days should I take? For 100 days I'll take. For 100 days. Okay, Mr. Ram is a student in India. Every year Mr. Ram visit his sister in Singapore for 100 days. Okay, find out the residential status. So here we'll write Mr. Ram age, will assume age, he is a student 21, assessment year 2020-21, previous year is 2019-20. Okay, you basically need to write here, but I am not writing here. Okay, any exception for the basic condition? No. Whether Mr. Ram has visited outside India. See, Mr. Ram is an Indian citizen first of all. Okay, whether Indian citizen has left India for the purpose of employment, or Indian citizen has left India as a crew member of Indian ship, or whether Indian citizen or a person of Indian origin has came in India in previous year for the purpose of visit. No, right? So our exception is not there. So now we'll move on to section 6 subsection 1. Okay, if a person satisfy either of a basic condition, he will be considered as a resident, stay in India in previous year for 182 days or more. So since he visits every year for 100 days, that means here only we will write in previous year 1920 he has stayed in India for say 365 days minus 100 days, which comes to around 265 days. Okay, so now we'll move on to our format again. Since he has stayed in India for 265 days, okay, he has stayed in India for 265 days, that means we don't need to see the second basic condition. Okay, if you have noticed, I have done a mistake here. Okay, I have purposely done a mistake. So this is wrong. Why this is wrong? 2019-20. Okay, I have purposely taken 100 example and I have taken 365 days here. Okay, the year is 1920. Okay, 1920, in year 2020 there was February 2020, which consists of 29 days. That is a leap year. So that means financial year 1920 consists of 366 days. Okay, I have purposely done a mistake. So you cut it here like this and we'll write the answer as 366 days minus 100 days is equal to 266 days. Okay, this is important. Why? You will come to know, because there are much more concepts to come where one day is of importance. Okay, so now you will be thinking already he was resident, one day won't make any difference. But no, there should be something ethical, like whenever you do something you should do it right. Okay, so here we'll write 266 days. Since he has already fulfilled the first basic condition, we don't need to see the second basic condition. Okay, so even if you don't write anything here and simply write here, therefore the status of Mr. Ram is resident as individual satisfy first basic condition, that is sufficient enough. Examiner will not cut any marks. But if the examiner has given you the data, then if you want you can find it. Okay, but my personal recommendation is you please find it. But if you have less time in exam, even if you don't find it and you feel like this first condition is satisfied, you simply write it, you will get sufficient marks. Okay, see, residential status questions come for maximum 5 marks. Okay, so even if you solved it at the end and you are like doing sums of which are difficult in nature first, then you can plan it accordingly. Residential status, because this is this much only. Okay, maximum the residential status answer will be of this entire page. Okay, so this will take hardly 5 to 6 minutes. If you want you can do the shortcut. Okay, but I'll recommend better to calculate second condition also. So basically here the first part you would have to write 266 days only. Okay, because stayed in India in previous year for 60 days or more, he has stayed for 266 days. Okay, and he visit his sister in Singapore for 100 days. Okay, every year when he visits every year, that means before this relevant previous year also, relevant previous year 1920, other previous years, that is 1819, 1718, 1617, 1516, he has also visited there. Okay, so there also 365 days minus 100 days. Okay, 365 days minus 100 days 365 days minus 100 days. I have purposely taken this example. Here again it will come 366 days minus 100 days, because 1516 was also leap year. 2016 consists of February, which has 29 days. Okay, so here again it will be like 265, 265, 265, 266. Okay, we'll calculate on calci. 265 into 3 plus 266 is equal to 1061 days. So here simply in the format there is a space. Okay, there is a space. We'll write here 265 into 3 plus 266, which comes to 1061 days, and you write here simply resident. I hope this is quite clear. This much is the only format. Now let's move ahead, and now we will move to a newer part where we need to calculate the number of days. Now I have given illustration where the days he has stayed in India were already given, but now question will be like he has left up to this month. So we need to calculate each month, like 31 days plus 30, like that. Okay, so let's move ahead. Wait, let's revise section 6 subsection 1 again. Okay, basic condition. If a person satisfy either of the basic condition, he will be considered as resident, stayed in India in previous year for 182 days or more, or stay in India in previous year for 60 days or more, and stay in India for 365 days or more during the 4 immediate preceding previous year of the relevant previous year. I hope what does this means you have already understood. Okay, exception to section 6 subsection 1 basic condition. If the following is the case, then only first basic condition will be applicable, that is stay in India for 182 days or more. That is, Indian citizen leaves India in previous year for the purpose of employment outside India, or Indian citizen leaves India as a crew member of an Indian ship, or Indian citizen or a person of Indian origins comes to India in previous year for the purpose of the visit. If any of these three cases, then the residential status will be determined as per condition 1 only of the basic condition section 6 subsection 1. I hope that this is quite clear. So there is an additional note I have added. Okay, for this note we need to again see an illustration. We'll see two illustration, first for this part and next for this part. Okay, so let's read first note. Okay, stay in India means stay in territorial water that is up to 12 nautical miles in sea from the coast. So for example, I stay in Mumbai. Okay, there is Nariman Point. Okay, from Nariman Point is the coast. From Nariman Point 12 nautical miles, if any person stays within the limit of 12 nautical miles in the sea, then it will be considered as he has stayed in India. Okay, I hope this is quite clear to you all. This is an important thing. Okay, you remember this because at times the question may confuse you by writing this. Okay, like 1 or 2 days will be given in the territorial waters, which will be in 12 nautical miles, and if you will not consider that, you will may consider that particular SSC as non-resident or resident. Okay, see, if a question has asked you something, if you do not write it in a right manner, that means you are solving it in a wrong manner. Okay, so even if 1 or 2 days will make a difference, he will either become a resident or he will either become a non-resident. There are different benefits of being a resident and being a non-resident. Okay, so the second note is, for the purpose of calculating the number of days stayed in India, include the date of departure and also the date of arrival. Why I have written this include the date of departure and include the date of arrival? I'll explain you this with an example. So this is an example. For example, your sister stays in Canada. Wait, Canada spelling is wrong. Your sister stays in Canada. You visited her. You visited her. Okay, and you are a student. You visited her for a period of 6 months. okay, for a period of 6 months, you left India on 1st May 2019 and came back to India 2019, came back to India on 1st November 2019. Okay, so we'll write the months in the financial year. Okay, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Okay, so year 2019-20, that is previous year 1920. We'll write here previous year 1920 and assessment year 2020-21 is of 366 days. Okay, remember this. Okay, so for the entire April month you were in India, 30 days stayed in India. So what we are calculating, stayed in India. Okay, stayed in India. So you left India on 1st May 2019. So what our notes suggest is include the date of departure. When you left India was on 1st May 2019. That is the date of departure. So the date of departure, that means on 1st May you were in India, you took the flight on 1st May. So income tax department consider that if you have taken the flight on 1st May, that means on 1st May you were in India. That means first one day you will be resident in India. Okay. So for the entire month of June, you have stayed for 0 days. Another I'll write 0 days. 0 days. For the month of July, also 0 days. For the month of August, also 0 days. For the month of September, also 0 days. For the month of October, also 0 days. Okay. You came back to India on 1st November 2019. 1st November, you came back on which date? 1st November. So what our note suggests is include the date of departure and also the date of arrival. That means 1st November is the date of arrival. So 1st November will any which ways considered because from 1st November onwards you were in India itself. So that means November consists of 30 days, December consists of 31 days, January consists of 31 days, February consists of 29 days and March consists of 31 days. So let's calculate the number of days stayed in India. Okay, number of days stayed in India is equal to 30. See here it was 30 plus 1, then 0 was there, plus 30 plus 31 plus 31 plus 29 plus 31. Okay, last was 30. So by mistake I took March as 30, so I added 1 and it became 183. Okay, so number of days stayed in India is 183 days. So here the possibility of mistake will be here and here. Okay, if see not 31 here. Okay, because at times students forget the leap year concept. Okay, so but now I've already explained you, so I don't think you might do this mistake in exam. Always remember, for your exam, for November 20 exam, February consists of 29 days. Okay, so if you would have taken here 28 days, then our calculation would have become 182 days. Then also he would have been resident. Okay, you would have not made any mistake. Your conclusion would have been right, but examiner would have cut marks for your calculations. Okay, how you have arrived on this figure, number of days stayed in India. For this particular thing he would have cut your marks, but for the conclusion he would have given you the right marks. Okay, the marks allotted to the conclusion he would have given that much marks. But if you have missed this two, 1 day and 1 day here. Okay, that means you would have arrived to a conclusion that had stayed in India for 181 days. That means making this individual as non-resident. This is the huge mistake that usually students do. So if I would have not given this specific thing, include the date of departure and also the date of arrival, many students make a mistake there. Okay, and institute, what we say, purposely put such kind of a date where student will definitely miss out. Okay, so here definitely everyone will consider, okay, he has left on 1st May, that means for the entire month of May he has not stayed in India. Student will definitely consider as 0 days. Okay, see, whatever things I am writing now, if you want you can write it, because you have already seen the notes. This all parts are not there in the note. If you want you can write it as an example in your own notebooks. Okay, but my format book and notes are kept for the last day revision. Okay, I don't want to give all this, because if I keep all this, student at the time of revision will also read all this stuff, and I don't want him to read all this stuff. Okay, because it will consume a lot of time. In 1.5 days time frame, you have to any which way study two subjects, that is direct text and indirect text. Okay, so I don't want you all to waste any time. So my notes will be concise. If you want, you write it in your notebook, but do not revise it at the last moment. Okay, revise it when you are revising for exams, not before the exams. Okay, revise only the notes in the format book, that is sufficient. Okay, so I hope you have understood the importance of this particular sentence. The last note, we need to see the last note now. In case of an Indian citizen who leaves India as a crew member of the ship, so this was a part of exception. You remember the exception of section 6 subsection 1? It was a part of an exception when Indian citizen leaves India as a crew member of the ship. How to calculate period of stay in India? So how to calculate number of days stayed in India? So here again I have written 365 days. Okay, but previous year 2019-20 consists of how many days? 366 days. I have purposely kept it here. Okay, so you have my notes. Now simply cut it and write 366 days. Okay, okay, simply write it 366 days leap year and write leap year. Okay, I want you to do it like this, because whenever you are revising, it will give you a hint. Oh, 1920 is a leap year, 1920 is a leap year. Okay, that means 366 days minus number of days stayed outside. This is not outstanding. Okay, this is not outstanding, this is outside India as per continuous discharge certificate, including joining and signing date and signing off date. So what does this mean? Okay, let me explain you. For this I think there is a specific sum in the study material. We'll see that only, that will be sufficient enough. Okay, see, we'll read this. Mr. Anand is an Indian citizen and a member of a crew of a Singapore bound Indian ship. Okay, who is Mr. Anand? Mr. Anand, I'll not underline all. Mr. Anand is an Indian citizen. Mr. Anand is an Indian citizen and a member of a crew ship. Of a cruise ship. Okay, engaged in carrying of passenger in international traffic departing from Chennai port on 6 June 2019. From the following detail, for the previous year 1920, determine the residential status of Mr. Anand for assessment year 2020-21, assuming that he stayed in India in last 4 previous year preceding the previous year 1920 is 400 days, and the last 7 previous year preceding the previous year 2019-20 is 750 days. So this second part, this part I am yet to teach you. Okay, so we'll see that later. We'll only first identify whether Mr. Anand is resident or not. Okay, I hope this is clear. So date of entering into continuous discharge certificate in respect of joining ship by Mr. Anand is 6 June 2019, and date entered in the continuous discharge certificate in respect of signing of the ship by Mr. Anand is 9 December. So we have to consider 6th June plus 9th December. Okay, see, read here. Number of days stayed outside India as per continuous discharge certificate includes joining and signing of date. So that means when we'll calculate the period of stay outside India, we'll consider 6 June also in the number of days has stayed outside India, and 9 December also has stayed outside India. I hope this is quite clear to you all. Okay. Again, we'll read Mr. Anand is an Indian citizen and a member of a crew of a Singapore-bound Indian ship engaged in carrying of passengers in international traffic departing from Chennai port on 6th June 2019. From the following detail for the previous year 1920, determine the residential status of Mr. Anand for the assessment year 2020-21, assuming that the stay in India in last for previous year or preceding previous year 1920 is 400 days. We'll solve this sum in this manner only. Mr. Anand, okay, age is not given, so we'll put a dash. Assessment year 2020-21. Is there any exception? Yes. Which exception? Second exception of section 6 subsection 1, that is basic condition, that is Indian citizen leaves India as a crew member of an Indian ship. I hope this is quite clear. So that means what? Only first condition for determining residential status of such person will be C. Okay, so we need to stayed in India in previous year for 182 days or more. So we'll calculate the number of the days here only. Okay, 6. So the date entered in the continuous discharge certificate in respect of joining the ship was 6th June, and date entered in the continuous discharge certificate in respect of signing of the ship by Mr. Anand was 9 December 2019. Okay, so this is the period stayed outside India. Okay, so we'll see they stayed in India. So let's come here. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So in the month of April he was in India. For the month of May he was in India. Month of May has 31 days. He left India in the, that means date entered in the continuous discharge certificate is 6th June. Okay. So in the month of June he stayed in India for 5 days, not 6 days, because 6 days, the 6th day, that is 6th June, will also be considered as stayed outside India. That is what it is given in my note. So if you read this, number of days stayed outside India as per continuous discharge certificate includes joining and signing of day. That means 6th June and 9th June are included in staying outside India. That means April, May, June till 5th June he was there in India. July 0, August 0, September 0, October 0, December. Okay, November 0, December date entered in the continuous discharge certificate in respect of signing of the ship by Mr. Anand was 9 December. That means stayed in India will be excluding the 9 day. That is from 10th will consider he was in India. That means 31 days minus 9 is equal to 22 days. I hope this is quite clear to you all. January 31 days, February 29 days, do not forget, do not write here 28 days. Okay, March 31 days. So now we'll calculate 30 plus 31 plus 5 plus 22 plus 31 plus 29 plus 31, which comes to 179 days. That means the first basic condition is not satisfied, and we'll write it here in our format. 179 days, and we'll say that he is a non-resident in India. Okay, who is he? He is a non-resident in India. I hope this is quite clear. Now let's see the answer given by the institute. So firstly, we'll see that whether our answer was right. Our answer is right. See, 179 days. Mr. Anand period of stay in India during the previous year 1920 would be 179 days. I hope this is quite clear. He stayed outside India for 187 days. So this is the formula. Wait. So this is the formula that I have given in the notes. If you can see, 366 days minus number of days stayed outside India. Okay. So they have also taken 366 days. I hope this is quite clear to you all. Since he is a non-resident, then further we don't need to see section 6 subsection 6. Okay, when we study section 6 subsection 6, you will understand what is that section, what is this additional condition. Okay, I hope this is quite clear. We have solved one illustration from ICS study material. I hope this is quite clear, and do not goof up. Okay, do not goof up over here. I'll just add one more reference in my note. Okay, in this refer note. Okay, so when you are reading this Indian citizen leaves India as a crew member of Indian ship, when I write refer note, you will immediately refer the note on the next page and you will come to know, okay, so here this is of utmost important. This part is utmost important. And out of this part also, joining and signing of date are of very much important. Okay, do not goof up over here. Okay, here important was include the date of departure and also the date of arrival. So whatever highlight or whatever important I am writing it right now, you please do it in your notes in your own handwriting. So, okay, this will give you a personal touch. Okay, I am erasing all this. Hope this is quite clear to you all. So we have completed with section 6 subsection 1 basic condition, and we have completed section 6 subsection 1 basic condition with exceptions. Okay, with its important content, the content of the section, exceptions, note, note, and different kinds of illustration, how to solve an exam, and also we have completed the format of the basic condition. Okay, I hope this is quite clear. See, we have solved Mr. Anand's example here only, and it it has been solved in this much space. Okay, and see the institute's answer. They have to write so much things in detail. It is running in one page. Okay, your answer will be completed in the half page, and it will take half of the time what institute's answer has taken. Okay, I hope you have liked this format. Okay, so we'll take a break over here. If you want, you pause the video, because I'll not put a 5-minute break here. I'll just pause recording and you also take a break. Okay.